Hello and welcome to our scoop. Be sure to subscribe and hit the like button if you enjoy this video. Story 1. Am I wrong for expecting my very rich sister to pitch in on my wedding after she said she would? My F35 mother married my stepdad when I was 17. He had a daughter from a previous marriage. Ellie, F29. We were never close because when they moved in with us, Ellie was super clingy. Would always follow me around and basically stalk me in my own home. Your typical know-it-all. She barely left the house. So she basically had zero friends that weren't online. So Ellie managed to graduate early and get into a really good college on scholarships. Then got a master's there as well. She's in engineering and her college is like apparently one of the best ones for engineering. So straight after graduating, she was earning a crazy amount. She's been rubbing this in my face ever since she got the acceptance letter. When she was home, she was always wearing the university hoodie. Always talking about what she's doing at college. And sending videos of robots and stuff into the family group chat. Now that she's earning so much, it's stuff like her paying off our parents' car loans for Christmas or getting extravagant gifts for everyone. We had a few fights about it, but we always made up. So now on to this year. I got engaged last year in February to my fiancé, M32. I asked my sister if she would pitch in and she said she would help out. Knowing she had the money, I got to plan my dream wedding. I was so excited about planning our big day. That was all until I showed her the plans and she pulled the rug from beneath my feet. She asks me how I'm paying for it. My husband and I didn't do college, so are not high earners, and I reminded her that she said she would help. She's now saying that she won't help pay for it and she will at the absolute most pay for my dress. I told her it's unfair of her to lie to me and only tell me after planning everything that she isn't actually going to help. She blew up at me over us not being close in the past and blamed me for it. It takes two people to bond. But she claims everything is my fault. We argued for a bit and now she's not even paying for my dress. All the wedding planning I've done has been for nothing now. My parents are split. With my mom saying Ellie needs to honor her word and let me have the wedding I planned and we all pitch in what we can afford. My stepdad is angry I asked her in the first place and dug up some old arguments from when I was 17. Am I wrong for expecting her to do what she said? Opinion. In this case, I actually do think that you may be wrong. To be honest, it kind of sounds like you have a bit of jealousy toward your stepsister. She is doing significantly better than you in life. In general, and the way you speak of her sounds a little like you took all of her actions personally. All of the things she would do to quote-unquote rub it in your face sound pretty normal things to do. The only reason you took it personally would be if you were insecure about your own intelligence and abilities. You also could have went to college and got a high-paying job. You are not entitled to her money, and her even offering to pay for the dress is still generous and helpful. In my opinion. Unless she specifically stated that she'd pay for your extravagant dream wedding. You would be wrong for even assuming that and feeling entitled to her money. She has harbored animosity from your youth. But even then, you are not entitled to her funds. Story 2. Am I in the wrong for telling my wife she no longer has an excuse to not work? My wife and I had our first child 2 years ago. A beautiful little girl. My wife and I agreed that her being a stay-at-home mom was worth it. And I can sustain the household on my income. I started to notice about a year in. She was getting overwhelmed and asked what I could do to help. She claimed to be fine. But I started to price around childcare options. Spoke with friends, family, and colleagues looking for any suggestions, recommendations, and resources. That is when my boss told me our job has childcare benefits. Awesome. I start the paperwork, get the approval, and got put on a wait list. I brought it up with my wife. We toured the place with our daughter and Amp. She loved it. About 4 months later a spot opened up. And our daughter is now in daycare. It is run in the same office building I work at. So it is super convenient. I drop her off when I head to work and pick her up when I leave. Perfect. Here is where the issue arrives. My wife is not doing anything. We split the household chores. That is how it was in my family growing up, and I find cleaning and cooking relaxing. So I am fine with it. That being said, my wife has not done much with her day since our daughter started daycare. I understand adjustments take time. That being said, the original agreement was for her to be a stay-at-home mom. With our daughter in daycare. Not being rude. But staying home to be a mom is not happening. I brought up the million-dollar question, when are you going back to work? This may have been a miscalculation on my part, but I figured I am in this deep, let's see it to the end. She gave me a glare of death and tried to change the subject. I kindly interjected. Not trying to push her, but practically speaking, I told her that she has no excuse to not be working. This was my tactical error. She blew up. Thankfully. During this, our daughter was at my parents' house, so she didn't see or hear the yelling. We went back and forth using the classic lines from both sides of the camp. She used the good husband provides the option for their wife to stay home. I said, if you want to be home, then either watch our daughter or do the housework. Your being home is not a free pass to do nothing. She clapped back, with your coworkers' wives get to stay home and do nothing. I told her I agree. But they have cheated on their wives. Do you want me to start doing that? I am sure you can piece together the rest. The comment about cheating was not a threat. She was using the fact the wives of my coworkers get to be home even though their kids are also in daycare. I pointed out that the husbands are cheating on them. My coworkers' situation is skewed. They have found it is more beneficial to stay together from the wives' side. We live in a state where spousal support has caps and does not matter how many years you were married before. Husbands stick around because the status quo is just easier. It was just to state that is not the life she thinks it is. Edit. Please. It was not meant as a threat. She had envy of other families she knows and wanted what they had. I just told her the truth about what was hiding behind their walls. It was not me saying I would cheat. Just me saying the life she is envying is not all sunshine and rainbows. The wives she sees are paying a price that she was unaware of, and I know she does not want to pay. She was also a software engineer. She was 100% on board. And I confirmed with her if she was okay with the daycare options. And if not, that is perfectly okay. She does not have any mental health issues I am aware of. I have suggested she does speak with her doctor, but that is something she has to do. I cannot force her. She did enjoy her line of work. Or at the very least that is what she told me. I also agree with the things said did not have to be said and that it was not the proper way to handle the situation. Just wanted to clarify that I have no intention or thought of cheating. It was simply a response to her asking why she cannot have what she sees my coworkers' wives have. Opinion. In this case, you are not wrong overall, but I do agree with what you said about it not being the proper way to handle the situation. Your wife was also wrong for blowing up on you and causing an argument over a simple question. Her reaction leaves no room for effective communication. But two wrongs don't make a right, and you didn't need to stoop to her level by making the cheating comment. As a spouse, your partner should never compare you to another person. Comparison is the killer of joy. Your wife should learn how to not compare her life to others' lives. And find something to do, whether it's doing more of the housework, watching you guys' daughter, or going back to work. This would be a help to you guys as a unit. Because that's what marriage is. Once you become unwilling to help, you are no longer being a good partner but just somebody to take care of.